Like I said, um, look at this: the review of a policy, circumstances which might require a review of policy. I said earlier they could be in some questions they ask what could make a review of a policy. Yeah, you can separate them on like internal and external changes. Internal changes could be the technological change in maybe the introduction of new plans or process, organizational changes like changes to personnel, new MDs or CEO. Then external changes could be legal changes, yeah, maybe change of a new government, change of a government when a new one comes in and brings a new law, that could be external. At the same time, maybe change of codes of practice too by these national bodies. Then at the same time, audits can be classified as an internal change too, where in investigating risk or assessment whether the policy is no longer effective. Then at the same time, let me say external influences like trade associations, bringing in new or updated health and safety standards too, like OSHA, changing their old standards regarding some health and safety issues, so that could also bring about, and at the same time, third party um, changes like stakeholders or clients saying that they want some changes in this area of the company, although this part is also classified as internal changes too. Then enforcement action from maybe the local authorities or the authority in that area. Then consultation with the workforce, when you consult the workers too, you know this when you consult your workers, you get feedback from them, and if it's negative on some certain um, practices or issues regarding health and safety, there could be a review of the policy or even a change. Then after the passage of time, as time goes on, you can also review the policy, and if there's a need to change it, then there is change. Hold on for a sec. Well, the aim of review is to ensure that the policy is up to date and accurate. Not just that alone, the review is also to indicate that the policy is also meeting the standards. Yes, if the policy is not performing well, then it has to be reviewed. That's another thing too. For the aim of the review of the policy, let's look at this. You can read this up, these standards and guides regarding by the recommendation of Article 14 of the ILO, but that's not where we're going to right now. Let's look at this revision questions. So, what are the three key elements of a health and safety policy? I told you earlier, the first one is the general statement of intent, which sets out the organization's aim and objective. The arrangement section, the organization section. I told you, I said the general statement of intent is what? What do we want? The organization section is who gets this thing done, and then the arrangement section is how do we get this thing done. That's the arrangement section. Then the fifth one says who should sign the policy. Yeah, who should sign the policy? I told you the top management should do that. I said what health and safety responsibilities do all workers have. Now this one, it still boils down to the previous health and safety responsibilities that I gave earlier. But primarily, here what it says is that they should ensure that they cooperate with their employers to ensure that the health and safety standards are met. Yes, in this place, that's what they all have. You can also write down all the ones I wrote earlier. It's the same thing. What does the safety organization chart show? Now, the safety organization chart shows us the roles, the hierarchy, and the roles they all play in bringing this health safety policy to work, to effectiveness. And so, what circumstances might require a review of policy changes internal to the organization and external to the organization? I read them up while before we got to this part. You can take the video back and you get the answers from there. Let's keep going. And now, this is the summary of element 2. Yeah, it says here the summary dealt with policy. Yeah, identifying health and safety policy organization, setting out the aims and objectives, explain the general statement of intent, the organization, the arrangement section. You noted the safety policies that have to be reviewed to stay current and relevant. Yeah. So let's go to the next one, which is okay. Now these are just like I said, we'll visit these ones how to answer the questions, but for now let's keep moving. We have to hurry up. This book is really big and there's so much to do, and this video is going to be large because of these pictures. Yeah, organizing. After policy you have organizing. Now this organizing, I know it can be confusing because in the policy you have general statement of intent, you have the organization section, and you have the arrangement section. Well, there's some similarities here, but this organizing here is not the one in the policy. This organizing is the one we related to the Plan Do Check Act, the 5 elements of health and safety management. That's the organizing we are having here, not really the one you have in your health and safety policy. I just want you to be able to differentiate that from that. So now you can look at the content. You would see the organizational health and safety roles and responsibilities and all of that. Okay, let's go down. Boy. Okay, well. Ultimate responsibilities for ensuring that the workplace is safe and free of health risk rests with the employer. Yes, director and senior managers have a duty to ensure the organization meets legal obligation. Middle line managers. Okay, now, like I said earlier, I said they are very similar because organizing indicates or tells us who are the people responsible. Organizing tells us the people responsible for meeting this what will I call it now? Is ensuring that this policy comes into effectiveness. Yeah. So this is the roles of all the major players or stakeholders in the organization. Look at it. It says the directors and senior managers have the duty. It's a duty, or let's say have a role to play to ensure that the organization meets this obligation. In particular, they're responsible for setting the policy, allocating resources. I told you, I said it's their job to allocate resources to allow the policy work effectively. This includes provision of competent health and safety advisors. They demonstrate clear commitment and leadership. And the middle line managers and supervisors have the duty to ensure that the areas in their control are safe and free of health risk. Yeah, that's the middle managers and supervisors. Areas in their control, that's they are the ones in charge to ensure that the areas in their control are free of health issues, health risk and safety challenges. Then the safety specialists, they give correct advice and guidance to the organization and its workers. Then workers have a duty to take reasonable care of their safety and the safety of others. The controllers of premises ensure that the premises that the control are safe to use as a workplace, and that access to and from workplace is safe. Yes, if an organization is operating in a premise, or maybe a rented will I say building or area, the person in charge of that premise or that area is to ensure that it is safe for use. Yes, it is not really the employer's duty now, but the controller of that premise, that location of where the business is one to ensure that it is also safe. The self-employed has a duty to take care of their own health and safety and that of others. Then suppliers, manufacturers, designers have to ensure that the plants they supply, the equipment at work are also safe and tested. You know, they should provide safety information. For example, those people with the supply of chemicals and hazardous substances must always provide these things with a material safety data sheet, or safety data sheet as it is called, where this would help in revealing the hazards, and the safest way to handle these materials or equipment. That's the job of the manufacturers, designers. If you manufacture a plant, it should bring you the manual, tell us the best way and safest way to use these things. That's the job, or that's the duty. Then the contractors too also have the responsibility for their own safety and safety of others, and also clients too. Yes, clients are responsible for ensuring that the contractors they engage in are competent and supervised. What does it mean? Now, as an employer, if you employ a contractor to do a job in your organization, the contractor is responsible for the safety of himself and also others too. Yes, the client and the contractor are different. The client is the one who brings in the contractor, and the client and the contractors jointly are responsible for the safety of the workers in that organization and the people around, irrespective of the work they do. Yes, the contractor is responsible for the safety of himself and his contracted workers. Yes, that's the difference. Yes, but joined to the clients, the contractor and the client are responsible for the safety of the workers as in the workplace, and also the let me just say the work environment or the people around. Yes, then when two or more employers share a workplace, they must cooperate and coordinate their activities to ensure good health and safety standards. Now, if you look at it very well, this organization part is similar to that you find in the policy, but it's broader because the previous organization aspect is internal to the organization, while this one is external to the organization. Well, I'll stop here again. I'll continue from where I stopped in my next video. Thanks a lot.